merciful, you think you can do everything because God is merciful. Listen, don't take his mercy for granted. There's coming a day when mercy will get up off the seat and justice will sit down. See, mercy is saying that God is really not judging us according to our sin. That's a good place for somebody to shout. But yet God's given me time to surrender myself. God has given me time to get in a relationship with him and learn what he wants, and through prayer and fasting begin to change the things about myself and not need you to point out what's going on in my life. When you're in a real relationship with God, you go home and throw the stuff away yourself. You go home and delete some people yourself. You go home, and my father used to have the testimony. My God, my mom is a witness. My God, he got saved at a party and there was no pastor around, yet he went home and threw out his own beer bottles. Yet he went home and cleaned out all his old records. Come on here. I know y'all don't know about no records today, but he had to go home and get rid of what he thought. Everything that connected me to my own life, I need to get rid of it. Oh God, I just said a mouthful. I want you to tell somebody near you, everything that connects you to your own lifestyle, you got to sever that thing. You got to cut it off. There must be a pruning. There must be a cutting. There must be a deleting. There must be a chastening in your life that you would grow up to be what God has wanted you to be. I had some rose bushes sitting in front of my house, and every year they grow about as big as Bishop Johnson. My God, in this particular day, I cutted them all down, but they were so big. I told my husband, I said, honey, I said a bear could hide behind them bushes and we wouldn't know coming up to our house. So every summer I get the scissors. Me and Kia, we get the cutting. My God, somebody told me I was a gardener. I don't know who it was. My God, when I get the cutting and pruning, and when my husband pulled up to the house, he said, Karen, what in the world you call yourself doing to the bushes? I began to observe that bush, and it had a whole lot of dead weight on it. It had a whole lot of leaves that were supposed to be green but turning brown. It had a whole lot of things that were disrupting the functioning and the growing and the beautifying of that plant. When I took the scissors and began the shears and began to cut off everything that was connected to the vine that was not supplying life, life was not flowing through it, I noticed within a few rains there's beautiful roses coming up on that bush again. What was the revelation? If you can cut off every dead weight and every dead work, every evil work, if you cut it off of your life, God will cause you to soar like an eagle. God will cause some rose bushes to come out of your bush. I want you to look at your neighbor and say, oh neighbor, once I allowed God to show me the things I need to cut off, then I saw a difference in my life. It wasn't until I got rid of the dead weight. My God, what you don't understand about a bush is this. My God, is when you have those dead leaves hanging on the tree, it's sucking up the life out of the tree. My God, the vitamins and minerals are not able to flow through. It brings me back to the word of the Lord when it says, if you abide in me and my word abide in you, you can ask what